formatted. You try to get the full text, everything in one place. EndNote Online is software, or is a place where you can save all the papers that you read and that you want to keep when you will write your paper. Okay, so webofscience.com, you can access EndNote Online from webofscience.com or my.endnote.com. Okay, so as I said, you click on EndNote from Web of Science. I get some messages. Okay. All right, I'll record the session. How do we do that? Tools, recording. No, it's already recording. Okay. Okay, so you click on EndNote, or you go to My Tools and you click on EndNote. All right. And then you get to that page where you have all your papers. Okay, and it looks like an inbox like Outlook or any folder, Windows folder. You have your references on the left-hand side, the groups, and you have all your references, and you can sort them and play with them, delete or keep the one that you want. Okay. Sorry, in the previous screen you have your references, but you also have collects. You can organize them, format, that's the next screen. If you want to apply a certain bibliographic style, like Harvard style or APA style, or in this case it's ACS Nano style, and then you can export those references and get a file with all your references formatted the way you want. You can save that file, or you can email it to someone else, and you can preview. This is the preview, and you can of course print it. Okay, this is just an example. You type some text, and this is on Windows. On Microsoft Word, I'll show you that. Just to sum up what is EndNote Online, so you have it's integrated with Web of Science, and you can save the full text in the cloud up to 2 GB. You can format reference list on the web, and you can use the plugin on Microsoft Word or even on Mac to format directly the references in your final text. And it's free, and you can access it anywhere. And we have a new portal, a new user community. It looks like, well, this is my face. Looks like a mix of Facebook and LinkedIn, where you have your, you can have your contacts, you can post, you can ask support, you can join some groups on the subject. For example, you're working in mathematics or in chemistry. We do have some groups for each and every field, and it helps you to connect to researchers as well. I'll show you how it works in live conditions. Okay. So we talked about conferences and journal papers in Web of Science and journal citation reports. So you have research results, but you need to write something in order to publish or to present, and you need to write them in a certain way. These are some links that I'll send you later, and this is my LinkedIn if you want to keep in touch. So let's go back to the portal. So once you are connected on Web of Science, or you are logged in from myendnoteweb.com, you get access to EndNote. First thing is, how do I get references? There are many ways to collect the references. So either you do a search, any search, I don't know, lithium battery. I do a search on Web of Science or any other platform. You could use PubMed, for example, for those of you who use PubMed, or any other tool that you use to search for papers. So I'm using Web of Science, but I'll show you how it works with PubMed. Once you did your selection and you use all the filters, right? You got some papers and you say, okay, these papers, I want to keep them somewhere. I want to save them. Please, no more writing on paper. Some people, they are still writing all these titles the authors, the journal names, the volume number, the publication year, etc. They still write that on paper by hand, and it's just time consuming, and it's not the best way. So we have the data in electronic format. So if I want to save those references, I either click on Save to EndNote Online. So this is what we're talking about now. You have the EndNote desktop version. This is another version that I don't think you have access to, which is more powerful, but still EndNote Online has many benefits. And then you have other file formats. Researcher ID, I'll talk about that on Sunday. I have a session on Sunday. And then you have other file formats. You can generate a text file, as you do in PubMed, for example, or you can export it to Refworks, which is just another type of format. So in this case, you simply click on Save to EndNote Online, and you decide what do you want to export. Do you want to export the full record, or only the author, the title source, or the same data but with the abstract, or the full record with the cited references? I'll export the full record and I click on Send. So what it will do is sending the records to myendnote.com. So I have 4 records, and I should get this record here somewhere. All right, so I will get the confirmation saying that it has been done. So okay, this has been sent. So now, if I refresh, I should get those papers. You could, and you see there is an icon which says that EN for EndNote. You could also, as I said, you could export this data if you're using Web of Science. You could export them to other file formats, and you can use a BibTeX for those of you who use LaTeX format, HTML, plain text, etc. So it just generates a file with all the data, okay, and it will create a file which says, okay, it has exported all the data in text, in the text file. So I go back to my my EndNote. It was 409 references. Now it's 413 because I exported 4 papers. I go to my references. I have plenty. So now I exported, or I imported to EndNote my references. I could search for battery, everything talking about battery, and I should retrieve those papers. Electro-coated, for example. So it should be somewhere here. Here's a question. Sorry, but do we have to download the EndNote on our laptops first, or do we just access the site? You access the site. EndNote Online is free, and you access it from Web of Science. It's there. So you need to create an account, and as I said in my presentation, now I'm signing in as Jamal, and I see EndNote here. So it connects automatically. You have access to Web of Science. You can access EndNote Online from Web of Science. You don't have to install anything for the moment. Okay, I'll just show you later how to write in Word and to have your references in Word, but for the moment you don't have to install anything. So it connects the data from Web of Science to EndNote. Okay, so these are my papers. And here you go. So this one, 2015, I think this is it. Where is it? Let me just search for that. Let me search for that here. Let me search for. Well, you know what? Once you export it, you can click simply on that. Here you go. You can click on that small icon, and it opens automatically, or it should open the record. And here you go. So now I have my record in EndNote. All right. So I have the type of document. I have the authors. I have the title of the document, of the article, publication year, the journal, the volume date, volume number, the issue, and the pages and the abstract. All those data that I need when I do reference. All right. Okay, great. So we simply export from Web of Science to EndNote. And then you have here, you could, well, you have a trash that you can delete, but you can manage your groups, etc. You can search for the full text here. If it's available on the internet and if it's free, we will get the full text, and you can download, of course, the full text. It found the full text, or it found the page, and if it's free, then you download the preview or view full text. If I click view full text, and if it's free, I should get access to it. No, it's not free, so we need to buy it. But if your institution has access to that journal, all right, International Journal of etc., it will be free of access if you open that article from your institution. Okay, you can open a simple reference like this one, and you could delete it, simple as that. Or we have quick list. This is the list that maybe some references that you're currently looking, so you want to have a quick folder. And I have some folders here. All right, I'll show you how to create some folders so that you can sort all the references. You can collect the references from EndNote, and this is very powerful. You can search from different databases, not only Web of Science. So all of these are libraries. Of course, you would see Web of Science, so you could search from Web of Science directly from EndNote. So I did the search in Web of Science and I exported it to EndNote, but I can search in Web of Science from EndNote. So here you see Web of Science, Art and Humanities Citation Index, Web of Science Core Collection, Web of Science Science Edition Index, or Web of Science Social Science Index. And you could search in different databases. If you use, for example, if you use, what is it? If you use, can't find it, search in P, okay, PubMed, where is it? Okay, I want to search in PubMed. Oops. I want to search PubMed. So if you have the connection file, I click connect, all right, and I search, I don't know, Ebola, for example, and I will retrieve all the records. I hope it will work. Yeah, so I get many results, you see. So I'm searching in PubMed, but from EndNote. All this connection or all this online search depends on your rights. So if you don't have access to, I don't know, if you have access to Scopus, for example, you could search any database or any library. How is it different from EBSCO or other databases where they also provide detailed information about the source with? Can a certain database be added manually? Okay. EBSCO, I don't know EBSCO, so it's very difficult for me to say how it is different. Probably it's a different product, like Mendeley. I know Mendeley. How is it different is that you have access to Web of Science, and EndNote comes for free with Web of Science. So you have access to Web of Science already. But that doesn't mean that it uses only Web of Science data. You can connect PubMed, as I said. So I'm searching PubMed. We have 933 results, and it's going up. All right. It's faster if you do the search first in Web of Science, or if you do the search first in PubMed and then you export the data. And this is what I did here. I went to PubMed. I did a search on Ebola, and I got 2,440 papers. Any database that you use, any Scopus, PubMed, whatever. Once you have the results, you can send or export. In all cases, you can export to a file as a text file, format, etc., or Medline, or XML, or CSV. You extract, okay, you create the file, and this file anyway, you can, so it generates those 4 records, the title, the authors, etc., the journal name, and you can import the references. That's the point. If you need to remember something, EndNote Online is connected automatically to Web of Science, but it also helps you to do a search. Okay, so if I go to collect, all right, I can connect to any library as far as I have access to that library. I could connect to the library of the last time I've seen Congress, or I don't know, Connecticut State Library, or if you have access to that library, you will have automatically the right to search in that library. I got many questions. Can a certain database be added manually? Can we download on EndNote to desktop? You can. I'll show you how to do that. Is EndNote free? EndNote Online is free, and it comes automatically with Web of Science, as I said. Okay, last point. If I don't have access to the library, can I get the abstract at least? No. Okay, let me be clear on that. Okay, a library, think about it as a house. All right. If you don't have the key to open that house, you won't be able to enter that house and take anything from that house. So a library, what we say, we just say that there are many libraries that you can connect or access, but if your institution in Saudi, you don't have the right to open these libraries, you won't be able to find or to search anything from those libraries. So Web of Science, you could do the search here because with Saudi Digital Library, you have access to Web of Science. Okay, they're here. You can search Web of Science from EndNote. If you don't want to do the search from Web of Science and then export to EndNote either automatically here or exporting as a text file. You could search PubMed as I did. I know PubMed is open access. You can search for it here. You select that library. These are the most common or the most used libraries. If you need access to that, you need to contact each library provider and ask if you want to connect to, I don't know, North Carolina School of the Arts Library. You need to connect them and say, okay, we need the rights, and they will, if it's free, it's free, and they give you the rights. If you need to pay, then you have to pay the subscription. Okay. Recently, I've seen American University in Cairo or in Paris. All right. All these universities, they decided to put their libraries and to give an access. That doesn't mean that this access is free. And what we call that a connection file. So to answer that question that has been asked, can we create an access to a library for, let me put it here. Okay, can a certain database be added manually? No, you need to contact the support, and you need to provide the data, the information. It's technical, it's purely IT, and we need to generate what we call a connection file if it's not already available. So these are all the libraries that we have and that are available and that you can download and then put them on EndNote. For example, if you do American or Cairo, I searched for Cairo recently, and I found that American University of Cairo, they provide a connection file. This is what we call a connection file. It cannot be done manually. If you want to share your library and you have access here, then you need to give some information so that it shows in EndNote Online. Let me take all the questions and then I'll continue with the session. So I can access all libraries available on SDL. Yes, very good point. So if you have access to several libraries on SDL, and if they show here on EndNote, you can search all these libraries, and if they don't show, that may happen, you need to contact Thomson Reuters. Here, there is a support team which does that, support. This is IT. I'm not responsible for that, technical support. And you say, okay, we have access to several libraries. We want to have them on EndNote. And then they will do the needful. If you go back to here, excuse me, but how can we enter the enrollment through our university library? Okay, let me clear on that point because I answered that question several times already. EndNote online, there are two ways, as I say in my presentation. It's either webofscience.com or my.endnote.com. Okay, you can access it automatically from Web of Science, or you go to myendnote.com and you create your account based on the Web of Science subscription. You go to Web of Science and you click here, or if you already sign in, you go to myendnoteweb.com. Okay, so just to sum up, you go to EndNote, you have all your references in one place. All right, so I need to go to my references. You have all your references in one place, sorted and in several folders. You can collect. That means that you want to have more references, so you can do an online search. Online search, as I said, you connect to several libraries, Web of Science, PubMed, or all the libraries that you have access in SDL. If you don't find, or if you use a reference which is not indexed, that happens, you can create a reference manually. Let's say that you read a paper and you want to refer to that paper in your article or in the book. You just put all the information, the author, last name, first name, the title of that paper that you didn't find in all the libraries, the year, etc. The attachment, you can put an attachment, for example, PDF or a picture or Excel file. You give all the information and you save that, and it will show in the list of all your references. Okay? You can import references, as I said. You use several tools like PubMed, Scopus, or any other platform. You can still, if you want to use only EndNote, you don't want to use EndNote and then mix with Mendeley and then mix with, I don't know, that platform that EBSCO or EBSCO. You have several references. You want to import them. So you go to PubMed, for example. This is the text that I imported, and you say import option, where that data comes from where. So it comes from PubMed. So PubMed, they have their own way of formatting the data. So you select PubMed. Okay, so you say PubMed. Okay, now I understand. Public admin apps, EBSCO. So you say PubMed NLM. And you want to import to whatever, a new group. And I click import. What's the name of my new group? And I call it Ebola because this is the search that I did in PubMed. Okay, so it will import the records. 0 references. If I want, let me see, PubMed, this one. I'll put PubMed. Probably I didn't use the correct import option, but it should work. And if it doesn't work with PubMed, I'll show you how it works with Web of Science. So this is a text file which has a certain format, and if I go Web of Science core collection and Ebola import, it should work. All references are available in EndNote. Is there a certificate? Okay, let's talk about certificates at the end, please. Let's finish the session. How to open new folder to keep different references for different subjects. I'll come to that point. Okay, so 4 references have been. Please let's keep the questions at the end because I'm sure I will answer some of these questions during the session. So those references have been imported to Ebola, and if I go to Ebola group, I will find my references. Okay, so I come to that point. So we're done with collect. You can do online search, you can create manually a reference, or you can import from a file, text file, CSV file, or any type of file. And then you have organize. So that will answer your question. How to open new folder to keep different references for different subjects. Of course you can. You click here, you go to organize, and you go to new group. So if I click new group and I say my new group subject, and I click OK, all right, and I have my new group. And then I have new options. This is pretty new. I can manage sharing. That means that if I'm working with a team of researchers, I can share some of these groups with my colleagues. I can rename it, and then I can delete. For example, I can delete what I've done for Ebola. I want to delete that group. Okay? And then Ebola is gone. My new group, there is nothing yet. Okay, so I would need to go to my references, and then go to all my references, for example, or unfilled. I have 230 references that I haven't got any group, and I say, you know what, this top 4, I want to add them to my new group subject. Okay, and now if I go to my new group subject, now I have 5 references. It's very easy. I mean, the use of the EndNote Online is very easy. You have your references that you can sort in different folders. You can move them, you can delete them, you can rename the groups, you can change the references, create your references, search for references, import references. Then organize. What's very important, as I said, you can share groups, but you can also see others' groups. Well, no one has shared anything with me yet, so I can't see anything, but it's pretty useful when you want to collaborate or when you work with a team of researchers. Okay? And then you want to find duplicates. This is very important so that you can save some space and you don't lose yourself in your references. Find duplicate, it goes everywhere in your EndNote, and it automatically found all the references. So you see here, this one and this one are the same. So all the one with the yellow background, you decide what you want to do. Either you copy to quick list, or you want to create another group, or you simply delete. So I delete them. All right, and no duplicate anymore. And then you can manage attachments. Very easy to understand. You see all the attachments that you have. So some of the references, I found the PDF. So I went to that reference and I uploaded the full text. It can be the full text, it can be some notes, it can be anything. So you can attach pretty much anything. All right, and you see that the PDF is there. So you decide, you want to keep it or you want to delete it, or you want to attach new files. So I want to upload more files. As I said, I want to put some notes, I want to put some comments on that article. So you simply upload attachments here. Okay, so you decide what you want to upload, and any type of files. 5 files at the same time, and available space is unlimited on the cloud. Okay, so I decide what I want to upload, and then I will get my attachments. So now if I go to organize and I want to see my attachments, and I will see all the files that I've uploaded to my references. You decide. I mean, I decided to put only the full text PDF format, but it can be anything. You have to agree on the condition and register a new account in EndNote. Yes. Yes, it's not automatic. It's not automatic. Thank you, Sarah. It's not automatic. You have to register a new account, and it's free. And you can link it to your. You will see it here in your Web of Science portal. Okay. So let me go through again. Format, so that will answer one of the questions. All referencing styles are available in EndNote. Yes. If it's not available, we will make sure it's available. The way we do that, you go to EndNote, download, we have more than 6,000 output styles from APA to Zigot. In EndNote, you will see probably around 400, I think, or 500. These are the most common used. If you want to see more, we can add them, because people, they were complaining that 6,000 styles were too much and they were just lost. But you can see them here. You can download each one of them if you don't find them in EndNote online. Okay, so you say my new group subject, I want to format that group, all the references in that group, with a certain style, like APA. If you use APA, for example, you just search for APA 6th style. Where is it? APA, this one. Okay, and I want to extract that. So I want to generate an RTF, rich text file, and I want to save, or you can email it, or you can preview and print. Preview means that before I need to allow the pop-up. So before exporting, I want to see how it will look like. So it will look like this. I'm happy with that. I can print, save it, etc., or export it. And if I export, then I got my references formatted directly from EndNote Online. So now what I want to show you is that there is a small program that we call Cite While You Write plugin that you can download and install for Windows and Macintosh. All right, you download it. Got only 30 days free trial. Now, EndNote Online is free. You'll probably ask for EndNote Desktop, which is a different product. EndNote Online is free and comes along with Web of Science. If you have any issue with the access, just go to endnote.com and you ask support here. Support, you go to a technical support request, and they will come back to you with probably an IT issue. I don't know. You select EndNote and you say Saudi Arabia, and you say that you have an access issue. And they will come back to you within 48 hours. So you download that file, you install it, and you should get something like that. Slightly different because I'm using the desktop version. So let me show you how it works. So you get this menu in EndNote, all right? And let's say that I'm writing a new paper, okay? And I want to refer to a paper that I read recently, and here I want to insert the citation. So you have this button here, all right, which says Insert Citation. Insert Citation, the way it does it automatically. You don't have to write and type everything manually. So if I say sushi, I know I have some papers talking about sushi, and I know that I've read some papers talking about sushi, and I want to insert this 4. So I select 4, and I want to add this one. 6 papers that I want to insert. Well, I can insert them, or I can say I want to insert and display as author, exclude the year, in bibliography only, etc. I just click on Insert, and what it does, it automatically gives me the author name and the year, etc. And then it generated my references automatically. I didn't have to write anything yet. And then I can continue to write my paper, okay, etc. And I can add another one to say, now I want to cite this one, okay, and it will automatically update my reference list. I'm using a style which is Harvard, but if you don't want to use that one, you can use any other style, and then you get the APA, and it changes automatically the style for you. You can play with anything. If you want to see numbers, I have recently read 1 and 6 and 7, and then you get your references. These, you can select another style if you don't find your style here. Okay, I can use this one. I don't know how it looks like. I've never used it, but this is another style. All right. Any person can create account in Thomson. No, I can't create an account for you. You need to use your email address and create your password. This is great. Thank you. Yes, amazing. Thank you. How can you get a certificate? Again, you will get a certificate. You just need to send me your first name and last name to Jamal El-Wahi at thomsonreuters.com. So certificate, I need your first name and last name, and you send an email to this email address. Could you please repeat the step of modifying details of references? Some downloaded articles with page number, for example, of or journal's name. Okay. Some downloaded articles miss. Okay, so if they miss the journal name or the page name, in that case, you need to go to EndNote, get the reference, for example, my references. Okay, and I go to this one, and in here I can edit. So if I'm not happy with the name of the journal, New England Journal of Medicine, I want to show the full name. Okay, New Journal. What was it? New England Journal of Medicine. Okay, and I click on save. All right. The new journal name is like that. You can still edit the references. You need to be careful because here Word is just importing what you have in EndNote. All right. Yes, I will send the PowerPoint, the presentation to Talal, and Talal will send it to all the attendees. And again, as I said, if you want to get more training, you go support training here, and you have EndNote, all right, and you have training videos, and you have many videos using or showing how to use EndNote online, and you have some even some webinars that you can attend. Okay, you have the quick reference guide that you can download. Okay, so I just okay, and there is that link. As I said, you refer to this link, please, and you have many materials that you can use. How to arrange the references in alphabetical order and in number. Okay, so if you go to EndNote, your references, so if I go to my new group here, or you could change the order. You could change here. If I say numbered, all right, so you have a list of references, and these are ordered with the numbers. But this is the order that I selected. I selected those papers, and then I imported them from Word. You could go to EndNote, all right. So if I go to my new group subject, and then I can sort them. So I can sort them by author, but I can sort them by title, and this will be my order in my final paper. Alphabetical order. You can use the source title for the journal. So now we sort the journal name. There are many ways to sort the references, and last updated, or the one that you added recently has to be in the top. So newest to oldest. So the one here, this is the one that I added. Well, I all added them in the same date. But if you update the group, let's say battery. Let's see battery. Does it work? Yeah. Look, for example, if I want to see added to library, I want to see the last one that I added, 30th of October. and then you have here in the bottom 22nd of July. So there are many ways to sort. It's up to you. You decide, and you can keep that sorting in the final references. I'm almost done. So format. So you download that program that you can use in Word. The steps are very simple. So the way I did it. So let's say because that's the question on the chat room. I write a paper and I want to insert. So I click on Insert Citation, and I click what I want to. I select what I want to cite. Okay, and I click Insert, and it automatically cite or add the references. And I'm using this style, but I can use any other style. To change the style, you need to go where you have references. So if I go to I write a paper and I change the style, it won't change. Okay, it won't change, and it's like messing up. So you need to go to where you have references. Okay, and get your style. Okay, so let me go through format paper. I talked about that already. You can select a paper that you have, and you want to apply a style. So now we do it from Word, but you could do it from EndNote. From EndNote, you have the paper, you have references, and you need to change. You want to change the style. So I want that, and I need format, and it will change the export list to another style. No match citation was found. Yeah, I mean this was the export list, so of course it won't change the format. And in all cases, the best thing to do is to use this. You can download it from format paper. You download that and you get it in your Word, Microsoft Word. And export references, I think I've shown that with the pop-up. You can select my new group subject, and I want to export to EndNote export or BibTeX export, tab, etc. And then I can use it in other softwares. Options, well, this is just password, your email address, profile information, the language that you use. Download installers, so you can retrieve the Windows and Macintosh programs for EndNote. You can save online references directly into your library if you use Firefox as a browser. And account information, I mean, this is what you have as an access. All right. And finally, I want to show you that platform. I'm almost done. I just have 5 minutes and I'm done. This is the new kind of social community that we have on EndNote. Still in the beta version, but you can access it. You can import your LinkedIn contacts, and you have them on EndNote, and easy to collaborate with them, with your contacts or any researchers. And it's also good to collaborate, to find some people. So if I see here recently created subjects, if I work in medical physics, I go to medical physics and I want to see that post, who posted that. Okay. Well, this is pretty new. Let's take another example. If I do subject, I browse the subjects. My subjects, I'm following some subjects like news announcement, EndNote training, EndNote. You can have support as well here, how to do that. There are 44,000 people following the group. Researcher ID, this is something that I will talk about on Sunday. But you can search anything. Let's say I work in, I don't know, agriculture. All right? I want to see people who work and post some stuff on agriculture. And it's very easy to find people. So I could look at Adam, this person, what is he doing, and etc. You could search and see he imported his profile from LinkedIn. You see the email. So very easy to find people and contact them and try to collaborate with them. You can see their posts. It looks like a mix of Facebook and LinkedIn, but for researchers. So if I do subject and I say, I don't know, medical physics, for example, let's see if there's anything. Nothing. It's still new, but if we do, just want to show you breast cancer, for example. Okay, not that much happening. You could search for physics and see people. This is the main way I use that platform, is to find people. So people talking about physics, I can find some people based abroad. Let's say, for example, this person is a doctor in Russia, and you have his email contact details, his kind of CV, the posts following is following some subjects, and you can even see his profile on Researcher ID. That's the, as I said, the subject that I will cover on Sunday. So, okay, I need to sign in again. I think I'm logged out from Researcher ID. So I need to go to home, and if I click again on Researcher ID, okay, we see his profile. Valentin Tureni has 20 publications, some of them indexed in the Web of Science, cited 27 times, etc. And easy to approach. We could collaborate with him, try to approach him, etc., etc. Okay. Thanks very much. Yes, we can do another training session. As I said last week or 2 weeks ago, there is a plan to visit the Saudi institutions, probably in January or February, most probably in February. I'm working on a plan to visit most of the universities, and EndNote will be part of that that training. I'll talk about Web of Science, journal citation reports, and of course EndNote. Researcher ID is very easy to get, but EndNote will be there in every training session that I will do in Saudi. Who will send the print to us? Can we have an email to contact with what report created from the anonymous to putting down the references? Okay. All right. I will send the presentation to Talal, as I said, and Talal will send it, because I don't have the details, because there were more than 90 people, if not 100%, who attended the training session. I don't have all your details. So he has the details, like the email address. I will send him the presentation, and he will forward it to you. How to import a created library from the EndNote desktop version to my EndNote? It's very easy. This is the EndNote desktop version. You have a refresh, like a sync library. You see here, this is the desktop version, which is not free. But if you have access to it, it's even more powerful. In here, you can sync to libraries, so you can have the same content from EndNote Online and EndNote Desktop. So if I click, I need to sign in, and I don't remember my password. That's the issue. 1 second. If I go to tools, file, preferences. Okay. You need to be logged in, but I hope you believe me. It synchronizes automatically. Whatever you have in EndNote Desktop, it gets refreshed into EndNote Online. And to show you that it works, if I go to all references, last updated, yeah, for example, this is the export list, you see, or this one. Sorry, this one. This is something that I did in EndNote online. Let me see why it doesn't connection status. Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you for attending the presentation and the session. I'll send the document to Talal, and Talal will send it to you. Thank you everyone. Sorry again for the technical issues at the beginning with the mic, with the sound, and I hope we'll get those issues fixed next time, inshallah. Yes, we'll visit King Saud University. It's in the plan. See you in Research and Writing, yeah, inshallah. Thank you everyone. Take care and see you soon, inshallah. Thank you everyone.